What up, it's your boy T-Bone Reaction. This is the one to make us for music money. I didn't get a chance to do though, which is the DJ Max. And what I am going to do is just do one at a time this time, so it won't be too overwhelming as well too, and pushing and giving room for other ones. And this one we'll check out is a classic from the late '90s, and this is Mouse T with his infamous Unforgettable track, Horny. I actually played this joint at a recent gig for me as well too, celebrating the LGBTQ community as well too. Pride Week, celebrating Pride Month as well too though. But yeah, this one's definitely an unforgettable dance music anthem as well too. So without further ado, let's check this joint out. Let's check the story behind this image track from the one and only Mouse T. Let's get it.
I played it to him and he literally fainted. He was like, bam, fell off the stool. I was like, what is that? You have to release it. Hi guys, my name is Mousse and this is the story of Horny.
Oh, I'm tripping. Mousse T. I'm tripping. I said Mouse T. Mousse T. That's like Mousse Symphony here. I'm tripping. I feel bad. I'm sorry, man.
Being a musician basically started my father sponsoring me with a keyboard, the Roland JX3P, I still have it, amazing piece of gear. So I started, making tracks. When I became a student after my school, I started DJing. I really liked it, like collecting records and everything, but that kind of led me to becoming a producer.
Always like hearing that their backstory are as DJs as well too, though, because it's like something you rarely hear as well too. Most of the time, you think they're producers turn DJ or all the way around, but this is like some more what are that way. So anyway, let's keep them going.
Basically, because people were asking they want to try doing remixes and all that stuff. That was a big thing in the 90s, basically, when it all started. During these times, having a label as well, I kind of started nurturing my artist career as Mousse T, basically. It kind of comes hand in hand, where you kind of go, obviously you want to run a label, but you want to see as well what you can do as an artist. Leading up to the first release of my first big record, Horny, actually. We're talking about mid-90s, and I was really big in the remix game. And if you know my release...
Another thing is, a lot of them started not only just DJ, some started remixes as well too for the own thing, yeah.
I just can't stop doing one remix. It's just when I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone. I had the amazing opportunity that was, I think it was 97, remixing Michael Jackson's Ghost. They sent me this 2-inch tapes, altogether 96 tracks. And I was in heaven, so I was doing my thing. Did a couple of versions. Nice. And then I would say 5 o'clock in the morning, I started working on a dub mix, because obviously me being a DJ, I always wanted to make sure that I produce a version which I definitely will play myself in the club. If you listen to Horny, actually, if you listen to my version of Michael Jackson's Ghost, you see the similarities, like the beats and everything. Okay. But back in the day, basically, pre-internet, you have to finish something, record it on a little DAT, like a digital audio tape.
Yep.
That's being picked up by a courier, to the airport. 7 o'clock, the courier rings the bell. Basically, I couldn't finish the dub version, so I shelved that version. So I finished the main club mix and then the other mixes, whatever.
Oh, yep, same beat.
A little fast forward, we were running a club called Park House in our studio, basically. It was like a house club, and the very first DJ I got over to play with us was Roger Sanchez. Yep. We start flipping around in the studio, playing tracks to each other, all that stuff. We came across that unfinished version of Michael Jackson, or basically like a dub mix. I played it to him and he literally fainted. He was like, bam, fell off the stool. I was like, what is that? You have to release it. And that's basically the first version of Horny, like the instrumental mix, which is very club driven. It had horn samples that are cut it up and spliced back again. And that's why I called it Horny as well.
Wow, that's awesome. I gotta find that Ghost mix from him, so I mix that with next time I play that joint. Okay, nice.
So when I worked on club records, I basically recorded everything on tape before, and then sampled that back from the tape, basically, you know, having the great sound and the warmth and everything. And I used the Archive samplers, which was like a stack of them, probably like even 6 of them. And then I think my sequencer back in the day, I think it was Cubase, one of the first Cubases, and then tons of Archive samplers, which are great for the sound as well. The original Horny track, you know, being named Horny because of the horn sounds in it. And it's an instrumental track. And what we did, having a label, obviously, we pressed vinyl and it flew out of the window. We couldn't fulfill the orders. It creates a certain buzz. So DJs are playing it, you know, obviously the industry kind of like starting to notice it and all that stuff. Us being a small label, all of a sudden, you know, the phone rings and it doesn't stop ringing, and people like Simon Dunmore back in the day, AM, PM, all the big English majors, American majors, they all started calling us because of that track. I'm like, that's like an instrumental track, and it's like an underground weapon for me, and why other people are going crazy because of it? You know, I didn't kind of like compute, basically, you know. We were lucky enough, because obviously Simon Dunmore and I, we go way back, and to sign it with AM, PM back in the day. And then obviously, you know, trying to be clever, saying like, okay, if you guys already like the instrumental version, let me try to do a vocal on top of it to see if it works. So Inaya Day was a regular in our studios, and basically we said like, Inaya, let's try something, and then we came up with a.
Gotta love the black queens of house music, dance music, man, for real.
Chorus, I'm horny, 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 horny. It just, you know, it's kind of, you know, happened. And then Inaya, her being cool as she is, she said like, all right, let me sing it in, and then she sang it in. And we're like, yeah, this is great, this is amazing, it feels big and all that stuff. Inaya was like, look, I like the record, but I probably wouldn't put my name to it. And then we're kind of like, all right, so, but the chorus is great, can we use it? And she was like, yeah, of course, you know, it's cool. So we had like a record which was almost there. So, you know, we said like, the chorus is there. We had like, we need to write some verses to it. And that's where my partner Errol comes into play. He's like Birmingham man. When he was over in Birmingham, at one point he called me and said like, look, Mousse, I met these 2 girls in a bar. I don't even know if they can sing, but they're so crazy. Shall we fly them over and try something on the track? And I'm like, seriously, really? And we just went for it. One of the ladies, Emma Lenford, basically is the lady responsible for the amazing verses that we now know on the track.
Okay.
The Winter Music Conference back in the day helped us a lot to make that record big, actually, because then after that week in Miami, everybody goes back in their corners of the world, and then they start playing a record, and then it bubbles, and that's how you kind of like create a proper hype. It got signed by Rick Rubin himself for American records. He was working on the South Park movie back in the day. They needed like, you know, quirky, you know, like cheeky tracks. And Horny was perfect for it. It even appears in the movie, so I'm a very proud man that that happened.
A little fun fact. Wow. The guy who signed the record for America was Rick Rubin. Really? Seriously, he signed it for American Records. And there you can see that the guy, he's just a music head. Doesn't matter if it's hip-hop, rock, whatever. He signed it, had a vision for it, put me out on the South Park compilation with a movie.
Shout out to Rick Rubin, man. He always, man, a legend in the game, man. Always a musical genius, man.
And it flew. Really good.
And obviously Lice released the track on our label as well. And you kind of realize, wow, this kind of like all the effort you put in kind of like seems to be paying off. And it opened so many new doors. You know, I was going down the street and people kind of like looking at me, and I'm like, it's really strange, you know. And I was getting aggravated because of that. I wasn't used to that, and it was really strange. But then obviously you understand, okay, this is probably bigger than you, or, you know, this is really big. And then it kind of like shifts from, hang on, you know, this is, I mean, you live for the underground, and then you have this like monster puppet now, and then you get almost into this like identity crisis where you go like, oh shoot, you know, did I sell out? You know, is this gonna harm my career? You know, we're like 27 years later, you know, we're still sitting here talking about a pop record. I think and I hope it didn't harm my career, so. for me, it was super exciting. First big video, basically, you know, flying to LA and, you know, like living the life for 2 days. And then Emma and Nadine as well, you know, the artists who were fronting the track, basically. I mean, they were real rock and roll. That record, I would still say, and I still call it a very, very fortunate accident. Nothing I did sounds like that record, and sounded like that record after Horny. And obviously, you know, I get asked the question a lot, kind of like, as a producer, you kind of like feel whenever you have a hit, or you get, you know, not really, you know, because Horny, I did not know that it's going to be that big. You know, I mean, I was lucky enough to do another big record 2 years after, Sex Bomb with Tom Jones. That record, I knew it's going to be big because you had all the ingredients. With Horny, I did not know what would happen. We did Top of the Pops in the UK, I think 2 or 3 times. We had like a full proper band, like a horn section and all that stuff. The singers with us, and it was amazing. We did the Christmas edition as well, and they told me, all right, you know, don't mind it, but they may make fun of you, you know, in a sweet way. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then we did the thing, and people kept laughing in front of me, and I was like, what's happening? And then I turned around, and then my name's Mousse. I had this big head of a moose, you know, behind me on the wall, basically. Nice. It was very funny.
I like, you gotta love the interesting ways they give, like, headsets for, like, guys like that, though. He's literally had 2 turntables, no mixer, and there's 2 turntables going back and forth, but interesting.
Horny being an instrumental track, you had all the guys like Masters at Work, or Tony Humphries, everybody playing the track. And then obviously when the track became pop with the vocal, you know, some people stopped playing it because obviously it wasn't that cool anymore.
Oh,
and now, funny enough, like 27 years later, it's kind of like all right to play the vocal again.
Like, hold up, like, it's crazy. I didn't think about it. I probably am not surprised with that, you know. You know, people might not like the vocal version. They like the instrumental better than the vocal. You know, because I guess you can do a lot with the instrumental and stuff. And it's understandable, I guess. But at the same time, the vocal kind of makes it even more enjoyable to me. Oh, well.
And so it's here we are again. I just hope it's true.
That's why they had like 2 versions with, like, you know, with the Oliver Helvin, that joy with Gecko and all that. Remember
the time people tell me it's basically they met their partner, you know, listeing to or dancing to Horny, and then now they're married, have 3 kids, and all that stuff. And I'm like, all right, my job is done. You know, it's great.
Wow. Hey. I guess they was horny. Anyway, this was definitely a good episode to check out as well too. Definitely a good story, backstory though. Especially how I found that he did. And now I gotta check it. Now put me on to him more. I definitely gotta check out that remix of Ghost by him as well too. Put in my arsenal. But other than that, if you like my reaction, just like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T signing off on love.